Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Salam Media this beautiful Thursday afternoon. I have a really exciting, amazing review for you guys. It's another restaurant review with Riz. I've been to Lenasia, and mashallah, I have to say, this spot, it's pronounced Don Bao. I'm totally blown away, guys. MashaAllah, Allahumma barik. This food. But before I get into that, let me just read you guys a beautiful article that was written about them in the Rising Sun. So I'm actually going to share this with you guys. Credits, of course, to the Rising Sun newspaper. The story behind Don Bao. The roots of Don Bao trace back to the early 1970s when the founder couple, Ghulam Muhyiddin, as well as the late Anwari Muqaddam, entered the food industry with nothing but passion, grit, and love for quality home-style meals. Operating in the heart of Johannesburg's CBD, they earned a loyal following by serving delicious, wholesome food at affordable quality. So I'm going to leave this here. Obviously, you guys can sit and read the whole article. It's worth reading. MashaAllah, it's such an amazing thing to actually see the history behind all of it. But I do have an exclusive with Ebrahim as well as the other owner, Amanullah. I think he's the owner. Maaf about that. Which we will be doing in a little bit. But first, let me talk you through the layout, inshallah. So if you are only tuned in audio, make sure you're following us on YouTube so that you guys can see this. So this is their beautiful spacing. As you can see, Don Bao has a lovely logo with a heart and a fork. If you look at the windows, this is something that I noticed being a niqabi. The top parts of the windows are clear and the bottom part of the windows are actually sandblasted. Visual on there is their specials. They have some epic deals that you need to know about. They have 2 burgers for 100 Rand, a sandwich and a burger for 90 Rand, a toasted steak for 65 Rand, and a roll and rum for 50 Rand. Inshallah, we'll be back to try out all the specials, but I'm going to talk you through something that I've tasted when I went through. So obviously this was one side of the stall and this one here is the other. I absolutely loved their slogan, good food always. Mashallah, that's always something we look forward to when it comes to a restaurant. There you can see again the specials are visible, and talking about the windows, you still have sufficient lighting and there's some privacy. This restaurant is Sanha certified, so you guys can rest assured with the halal certification there as well, mashallah. So this is what it looks like from the outside. They do have outside seating areas as well. You can see there's a touch of greenery through the artificial flowers in this laser cut work, as well as the outside black picket fencing that you see. I'm just waiting for my video to play nicely. Don't know why it's frozen. Sorry about that. Okay, so as you can see, we're taking a peep at the interior, but I'm going to talk you through that in a bit. When you walk through with the entrance of Don Bao, you can see here's the outside seating area. They have white tables, black sponge leather seats. On the left-hand side, you have bar seating, which is perfect for eating your ice creams or your waffles. And there is an AstroTurf welcome carpet as you enter. On your left-hand side, whether you're doing a takeaway, you'll be greeted by the reception desk. And then on the right-hand side is the beautiful seated area. They have a bubble and shake, which is linked to Polar ice cream, where they actually make amazing waffles, but more about that later on. Just a disclaimer, none of the lights actually flicker here at Don Bao. This is something happening with my cell phone. Not sure why exactly this is happening. So this is a result of my cell phone, and the lights are actually very static. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about their menu that they have available here. So like I said, when you enter, you enter and you're welcomed by this beautiful space. They have an amazing digital menu up. Here is the ordering section. You can see the digital one is moving, very eye-catching. The specials are clearly noted over here with all the different sides. You can see there is movement, so they put a lot of work into the digital space as well. I don't know if you guys noticed that there's Kinsley with the promo. So mashallah, we know where their hearts are when it comes to the watermelons, of course. And like I said, mashallah, beautiful digital work done here. You can see the hot drinks are beautifully displayed, and they have a variety that you guys can choose from. Absolutely stunning menu. So this way, what I've showed you guys now, this here is more for the takeaway purposes. So you walk in and you go through and you give your order, get a little slip, and etc. They do have sit down, and this is what their sit down menu looks like. I love that they've separated it into beef meals, lamb meals, chicken meals, because for me in specific, I'm a chicken person, so I can just zoom straight into what I prefer. You can see it's a beautiful gloss menu, bright colored. I love that they use their own food to feature on the menu as well, because it's a reality. So here's a peep closer at the menu and stuff that they serve: brisket, T-bone, chuck, steak, rib strips, Texan steak. The chicken meals were also amazing. And then they have a whole platter selection. So if you see, then when it comes to the platters or even your main meals, they have either written 3 sides, 2 sides. So you can actually choose your sides here at Don Bao with a variety from salad, coleslaw, chips, onion rings, pasta salads. There's quite a big variety that you can choose from when it comes to the sides, which I absolutely love, because whether you are indulging, binging, or trying to watch your weight, you can actually select something from the side menu which you can then prefer. We did a little bit of these starters. I'm going to show you. These aren't actually starters, but we ordered them as starters. This one here was the chicken strips with Don Bao's signature mayo. This year we got for the kiddos, just to start them off. Absolutely delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent and juicy on the inside. The kids absolutely loved it, and you can see we chose some chips on the side for that. This is the chicken wings. MashaAllah. My kids are wing fanatics. And I don't know if they spoke more about the chicken wings or the onion rings. They were so impressed by these onion rings. They said these onion rings can give fish away a run for their money, or should we say a swim away, because this was absolutely fantastic, mashallah. Going in now for the mains. I've never actually tried a gravy box, although it's been hugely popular all over Instagram. A gravy box is basically chips, bologna, sausage, and steak. And I do suggest you order this bread as a side. It's just buttered bread. When it comes to the toasted sandwiches, we tried 2. We tried the toasted steak special as well as the toasted chicken mayo. What I loved about their toasted sandwiches is the fact that they shred the meat. I absolutely love the texture put into a toasted sandwich in specific when it's finely shredded. I just feel like it makes such a difference when eating a sandwich. Both the toasted steak and the toasted chicken mayo were both beautifully flavored. Now we're looking at the chicken burger. As you can see, it comes on a beautiful bun with some black sesame seeds. It's served here with plain chips. We chose the plain chips for the kiddos. And then on the toasted steak, you saw a little bit more of the spice chips. This chicken burger was so phenomenal, mashallah. A good generous portion of chicken fillet with fresh vegetables was served inside this burger, and it was really hard to share. But what blew me away, my absolute favorite, and I'm going to go back just for this, was their shish kebabs. MashaAllah, the shish kebabs we ordered with the steak, and the sides that we chose here was the coleslaw as well as the salad. The flavoring on this shish kebab was phenomenal. It was juicy, it was succulent, it was tasty. I didn't mind not sharing my husband's steak because that shish kebab just had me in love from the very, very, very start. Now, something that I would love to share with you guys is the drink selection when it comes to Don Bao. This here was a passion fruit lemonade. It looks like golden hour with the lighting over here. The kiddos ordered milkshakes. They ordered a bubblegum milkshake as well as a cherry berry. And this was absolutely, look at the amazing portion sizes when it comes to the milkshakes. The kids were absolutely in love with this. So as you can see, there was fighting happening. They have amazing frizzos. They have amazing what is it, slushes. So from there, we also tried out a white symphony. This one here that you're looking at is the white symphony. This is a blueberry vanilla frizzo. Listen to this, the names, the gourmet of this spot. And the green one on your right hand side here on the video was a arrow mint frizzo. So as I said earlier, gourmet milkshakes. This should be the new in spot when it comes to grabbing a milkshake with friends, grabbing a drink. I mean, I am so impressed. And the best part about it, so affordable. So affordable, mashallah. I am truly, truly impressed. I can't believe that I've tasted such quality food with these prices. Subhanallah. So obviously, after we had our meal, we were also so welcomed. We read Salah, chilled out, and thereafter, we even had some hot drinks. So the hot drinks we tried out was a pistachio, salted caramel, and a traditional cappuccino. All three of them were really lovely, really tasty. And what I want to mention is that the owners, went out of their way, took musallas out, allowed us to read salah within the vicinity, making us feel so comfortable, so at home. We knew we weren't going to miss our salah. And then once we were totally settled, relaxed, digested a little bit of our food, of course, the kids would never, ever let me go home without checking out their waffle station. So it was Bubble and Shack. Here you can see the kids actually get so involved with it. They pour the ice cream into your waffle while the kids were standing there, and the kids actually jumped onto the counter, peeped in, chose which toppings they want by themselves. There's a variety. They chose crushed Oreos. They chose these mini speckled eggs. No, it didn't stop there. We went in for some more. These were Astros that they layered on there. So you can choose 3 different toppings when it comes to your waffles here at Don Bao. And additional to that, you can even choose 2 syrups, or was it 1? I can't even remember. But inshallah, we're going to get the full laydown on everything with the 2 guests that we have joining us here. So I'd like to introduce you guys to Amanullah. Amanullah was on site, and he was the one helping us there, as well as his cousin Ebrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Thanks for having us, Razina.
Barakallahu fikum. I can definitely say without a word of doubt that the pleasure is all mine, especially when it means I get to taste such amazing quality food, amazing pricing, totally blown away. I mean, I haven't been in the Lenasia space for quite a while when it comes to the restaurants, and I am truly, truly so impressed. MashaAllah.
Jazakumullah khair for that. It's not a good thing that you haven't been in Lens for so long, but if Don Bao has brought you there, then we are happy.
So I was in Lens often, actually, while my grandmother was alive. And then I think, how life kind of goes on. And once she passed away, then I think Lenasia still didn't have the pull it had before. But with food like this, I can definitely come back 100%.
Jazakallah khair. We appreciate that.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about it. I've read obviously the article that took us all the way back to Johannesburg CBD days when it comes to Don Bao. But do you know what actually inspired the opening of Don Bao as we see today?
So look, the story behind Don Bao, actually, we could call it the Dawn behind Don Bao. It's amazing. And the reason for that is because it's not something that has been recent. It's something that stems from the time of my grandparents. And that's way back in the 1970s. And understanding that the love, the passion that they had for this particular industry, bringing in the elements and the authenticity from home into a business environment is what has stemmed down to the two sons. That is my grandfather, Ghulam Muhyiddin Mukaddam, and my late grandmom, Anwari Mukaddam. It's their two sons that have basically brought down or exchanged hands in terms of the legacy that was concreted and instilled from them. And that is why the inspiration, the motivation, and the courage was mustered to be able to bring this particular concept and this particular feel and vibe in terms of food and its offering all the way back from my grandparents' time, yes.
MashaAllah. So we were definitely spoilt with good food from the very beginning. Your
Oh,
palate
yes, for sure.
gets, I can definitely relate to that, because once your palate grows up with good food, you're in trouble. You need that for the rest of your life. You use such a cute thing where you said the Don behind Don Bao. I loved that. How did you guys
Thank you.
actually come up with the name Don Bao?
We were actually going to allow this to be a little quiz, in terms of how the name came up. But be as it may, there's two factors here. One is obviously the two sons, the particular two sons that were involved in the business with their parents and had also worked to a certain limit in terms of the space that they were utilizing, whereas it was back in Joburg CBD, which was called Metropolitan Cafe. That's where it started off. And then later on, because of my grandfather's zest, his enthusiasm, and his desire for business, not just for business, but giving people and giving customers quality with consistency. This is what led to the two brothers spending a lot of time with their parents, learning business tricks, learning how to do things, learning how to, how can I say, perfect to a certain degree. And this is where that particular, yes, and this is where that particular desire had come from. And then because of the love of the Cockney language, right, Amanullah? So the love of the Cockney language.
And tradition.
Tradition. Yes, correct. And because it was unique in terms of the type of name that needed to be given for this particular concept and for this particular idea to settle well on the palate, if I might not say, but that is where the name came about. So, thanks. So this is where the two brothers, so in Cockney, the word Don Bao represents, Amanullah,
Two brothers.
Two brothers.
Oh, subhanallah. You can see I'm definitely not a real Indian, because I had absolutely no idea that was even Cockney.
So we wanted it to sound a little different. Well, they wanted it to sound a little different as well, because of the market that we have and because of what has been present currently. To give a twist to things is to change the name a little bit, but make people understand that this is a concept that has got to do with food.
And family, like the whole name is put together with family, and I absolutely love it. I felt so welcome. I felt so at home. I definitely felt like, that little astroturf carpet is more like a red carpet there when you walk through, and it was just so welcoming. It was like you visiting a friend's home, and they really just putting out their best cooked meals, mashallah. It was really, really so beautiful. We had a peep at your guys' menu, and it's quite impressive, mashallah. Tell us, what was the process when it came to actually putting a menu like this together?
So if you look at, if you're watching your screen, you'll see I'm a bit of a skinny guy, right? And if you look at my brother over here, he's one of the guys who's got a little bit more meat than I do. So he'll give you a background in terms of how the entire menu had come about.
So it's basically recipes that were developed from my grandfather and grandmother from the 1970s that we kept indulging in our daily, well, not daily life, but when we used to visit them and so forth. And when we developing the menu, so we took into consideration all those traditional recipes that were at home and tried to bring it out so people could also have a taste of it and be unique in the market.
It's like going to visit Nani's house. MashaAllah,
Yeah,
That's
it's so good. It's really nice. But I mean, Nanis and daddies, they didn't make these fancy cherry berry milkshakes, and like the names are as fancy as the drinks, mashallah. So there is a twist of modern that's in there, that element there as well. Is that coming more from you, Amanullah?
Gee, so that comes from us youngsters, the new generation, trying to try the fancy stuff and play around with it in terms of the cherry berry, the cherry white chocolate, the freezers, crushers, the waffles. So it's a collective effort that we all put in
No,
behind
I'm
the
so
scenes.
impressed. Mashallah, the drinks are gourmet, stunning, so well put together. It was really, really impressive. The menu is so
alhamdulillah.
big. What would you say are the three most popular, most ordered items from your menu?
So I'd say our GM meals, that's the steak box,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
our signature ram steak as well.
Could I interject there? Could I interject there?
Yes,
So,
yes,
with
please.
regards to the GM box, right? Just a bit of a background. So, the GM
Was
box
that
is
that
actually
was the gravy box that I
Yes,
featured here? Okay.
that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. So, many people are synonymous and they understand or they know about this particular meal or this particular
Uh-huh.
box, right? Amazing enough, because my grandfather stems all the way back from the 1970s, and his experience in the
Mhm.
butchery industry specifically
Mhm.
allowed him to master a certain amount of byproducts. So, like your sausages, your Viennas, your Russians, your salt meats, and the different types of steaks, the cuts, etc., etc. And my grandfather is really particular on it, and he had mastered a certain part of that. And from
Mhm.
there, a lot of the items of the byproducts were supplied through various other to various other um, restaurant outlets,
Okay.
butcheries. Yes, yes, yes.
across.
And that's the brand, that particular brand. Apart from the Donbao brand, the butchery is called Hajee's Butchery.
Okay.
And
Mashallah.
if you would find in certain of your convenience freezers, you will find a Haji's label. Just remember, it stems from the same background of my granddad and all the way down.
MashaAllah.
So,
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. So, a lot of the products were supplied to other stores. And once that was mastered, should I say, uh,
Mhm.
one Don from the Don Bao, he was able to put this together and make sure that, it comes out even finer on the palate. That's just an
Mashallah.
interjection in terms of the gem gravy. Yeah.
But when it comes to my recommendation, if the
Yeah.
listeners are out there and you're going to check out, you have to get that buttered bread and slap everything inside there.
Correct.
That, I don't know if it was just the heat and the way the butter melt. I don't know, but that you have to do it together. That's my personal recommendation when it comes to that. The other two
You
meals
say
that
that.
you mentioned, what were those as well?
Our signature ram steak,
Hmm.
yeah, and our toasted steak special.
The toasted steak was beautiful. MashaAllah, that is a solid toasted steak. I can vouch for that. When it
Alhamdulillah.
comes to, obviously, you have your popular items. Which item on the menu do you feel is so underrated, but you can say with confidence that this is something that people need to try out more often? Which item would that be from your menu?
Okay, so I'm gonna take on that one, right? With regards to underrated, I wouldn't pose the question perhaps in that specific way, where you're saying underrated. I just say because of the tough market that we are
Mm-hmm.
in, Indonesia being specific,
Mm-hmm.
and the type of food setup, like in terms of your QSR, you know what I'm saying, where you get your toasted steak specials, your parcels, your bunnies, your burgers and fries,
Mm-hmm.
etc. So because of the type of market that we are situated in currently, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say the toasted steak sandwiches. But what makes us different, and why I say that we shouldn't be saying underrated, rather we should be saying that it's something that you got to try, and you've already answered that question just a couple of seconds ago. But the difference in our toasted steaks and toasted steak specials, of course,
Mm-hmm.
is the bread. So the bread in
Something about your
specific
bread.
has been specifically made and manufactured for us. And that's
Oh.
why yes, and that's why we're saying that the toasted steak might be underrated as you would claim, but you got to try it because the difference is in the bread. And knowing the market and understanding the market, when you taste our toasted steak special, you're definitely going to know and understand that it's value for money.
I'm gonna say that the most underrated meal would be the shish kebab. Like,
The fish
wow.
kebab. Okay, nice.
Wow. Like, people might not walk into a restaurant and just go and order a shish kebab. But
Yes.
subhanallah, the spicing, that absolute succulent nature, it was really well put together. And then we paired it up with your people's coleslaw. The combination was fantastic. So that would be my personal input when it comes to underrated, guys. Go and check out the shish kebab. I was so blown away. So,
Thank you.
we've spoken about the history and the whole walkthrough that we now know as Don Bao. But let's talk, inshallah, what are the hopes and the aspirations when it comes to Don Bao? Where do you hope to see this in the future?
Okay, so if you had to ask Amanullah what's his hope and aspiration with regards to Dunbar, he'll tell you by end of this year he needs to put up another 10 kilos. So yeah. But look, hopes, aspirations. First of all, we attribute everything to Allah Ta'ala, everything to Allah Kareem.
Alhamdulillah,
Wherever
mashallah,
Allah takes us from here, we are happy. We are happy. One of the
subhanallah.
most important factors, especially when building a brand, is to make sure your staff are happy. And if our staff are happy, if
That's important.
management is happy, your customers are happy. And if your customers are happy, the owners are happy. So that is one dream, one aspiration, to make sure that they are all happy, keep them with us for a long time, allow them to develop, grow, and understand that whatever you are doing, it adds value to the business. That's one.
Mhm.
The second thing is we already have a few multiple outlets in other provinces. So if I could name them, if you don't mind, we've
Sure.
got one in Kimberley, that's the Northern Cape. All right. We've got one in Bloemfontein currently. The second one is on launch. We're
Okay.
busy with it. So there will be a second store opening up, inshallah.
Mashallah.
And that is something that's a little different. So why I say a little different is because in those two areas, alhamdulillah, we've knitted together with Polar Ice Cream, the brand Polar Ice Cream.
Yes, we've mentioned them as well.
Perfect. So we have Polar Ice Cream Factory stores there together with the Don Bao concept. So, if
Mashallah,
you'd like to
mashallah.
say from hot to cold, if you know what I'm saying. So, so alhamdulillah for that. So Polar in Bloemfontein as well as Kimberley, we have taken care of that particularly. And our idea and our hope and aspiration would be where we would have a footprint
Mhm,
nationally, even if it's a baby footprint, but
mhm.
some sort of a footprint
A
around the
legacy.
country, inshallah. And that would allow us to be able to give the same quality food, the same consistent food, inshallah, that we are providing here in Lenasia, based in the Johannesburg area. We'd allow the rest of the country to enjoy the same. Yes, the other branch is in Annandale, and that's where it all started. I mentioned the Hajee's Butchery.
Mhm.
So that's where it all started, and that's where all the R&D happens. That's where all the sweat and grind happens, and that's
Okay.
where the toiling happens over there. Yeah.
MashaAllah. Those, you know what? I am so impressed by your answer. It's
Jazakallah.
it's heartwarming, subhanallah, and Allah accept from you people. Take you guys
I mean,
from
Mm.
strength to strength, inshallah.
I mean,
Just want to
Mm.
add on the quirky joke that you made from hot to cold. Okay,
yeah.
something that inshallah I didn't actually get down to doing yet, but please, viewers, listeners, keep an eye out on my social media, Rezi_D. It's the frozen meals,
Thank
subhanallah.
you.
They,
Thank you.
I am going to get through them, inshallah, but they look so impressive, so keep an eye out for that. So Don Bahu actually has a few different frozen meals as well. You're welcome to mention the range that you have.
Okay, fantastic. So that was actually the starting point, Rizina. Just to identify a little bit, we started off with this particular model in terms of the frozen food, right? Where we would have different ranges of pastas as well as a few curries. I'm just going to mention a few of them. It's the likes of your mac and cheese, your bolognese, your lasagna, your pasta rice. And then in terms of the curries, we have the likes of your butter chicken, divine. I love it. And I
I'm a
think the
butter
rest would
chicken
too.
fan.
You see, so I'm tapping the right buttons here. I know that. So butter chicken specifically, and then Amanla, you
Mutton
enjoy
curry.
the mutton curry, yeah?
Yeah.
Amanla enjoys the mutton curry, so we have
Lemon
mutton
butter
curry.
kebab.
Oh, the lemon butter kebab. You've tried the
Oh,
shish kebab.
yes.
If we give you the lemon butter kebab in a frozen tub,
Mhm.
and I promise you, just make sure that you hide all your tubs away. Your husband must not know you are buying from Donbao, who needs to give you the credit, you know? And
Well,
that's
ladies,
that's
that's a good if you are a new bride and it's a little bit daunting, look,
yeah.
experiment in the kitchen 100%, but at least Don Bauer's frozen meals are there to save the day if we mess up over there.
Yeah. So the whole idea for this, and this is why I think we've started this concept, and maybe it's one of the hopes and the aspirations for us, Rosina. It's simply, it's simply where we would want to make women lazy.
You know what? If your food is that good and you
It
make
took
us
me a while to
lazy,
answer. Eh?
if you make us lazy and your food tastes that good, we're gonna have a problem where most of the people in Lenasia are gonna be rolling out from there. So,
No, we're glad. Yeah, but that's one of the ideas, and to make sure that we are going to be a household name, inshallah,
Ameen,
for many years
Ameen,
to come. Inshallah, I mean.
inshallah, Ameen. Barakallahu feekum, jazakallah khair to both of
Jazakallah.
you, Amanullah and Ibrahim. I did
Jazakallah.
introduce you as the owner, Amanullah. In the beginning, I wasn't so sure. Did I get that correct?
Management.
Management, mashallah. Wasn't sure how to introduce you guys there, but jazakallah khair to both of you for your time. We're wishing you all of the best, and
I mean,
inshallah, when the new store opens up, Salam Media would love to be there to feature and check it out there as well.
Inshallah.
we look forward
Inshallah.
to serving you guys, inshallah, and of course the rest of the country. And if you ever do pop by, you've actually alerted us to something with regards to our windows being niqabi windows. Unfortunately, we're going to think about you every time we see these windows.
Niqabi windows, mashallah.
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah khair. So,
Jazakallah.
viewers, listeners, do make sure you're going through to Lenasia. They're based in Signet Terrace. Go check them out. I am truly, wholeheartedly so impressed by the quality, by the affordability. This is something worth driving through with your family. Take them through, let them enjoy it. It is something truly, truly amazing. Until next time, inshallah, it is all from me, Razina Dakrat, and the Amanullah and Ibrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
Jazakallah.
wa barakatuh.
Assalamu rahmatullah. Jazakallah. Shukran for having us.